Hi guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how we make our body creams. In our recipe we like to use a more thicker, dense and fluffy texture because in my experience it coats well personally it coats my skin a lot better because I get scaly skin sometimes, and I find like a thicker texture stays on my skin a little longer. So this is just our preference with the recipe, but as I go along, I will show you how you can tweak it yourself. So in our recipe, we use jojoba oil, avocado oil, babasu oil. We use that in place of coconut oil. It has it has very similar properties, but it absorbs in the skin a lot quicker and easier. We also will be using cocoa butter as our hard butter and shea butter. Also with this, the recipe will be available for purchase for just $10 if you're interested. Um, and I will talk about how to acquire that as we go on. But I just wanted to show you our process in case you're not interested, or you changed your mind. So we are going to weigh our ingredients for our glass dish. You'll also need a pitcher for the liquid portion. But for this, we will weigh. Hold on, I got to. There we go. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. There we go. We're going to use our emulsifying wax, and we use traditional. I've worked with Silky and I've worked with BTMS, but I find that it's easier for us to work with the traditional emulsifying wax because for our recipe, like I mentioned, we like a more denser texture, and the Silky, with our texture, it kind of left chunks somewhat. So it's a little more difficult for us to work with. Anyway, we're going to use and we use in ratio, we're going to use stearic acid, but in ratio we use 1 part to 3 parts stearic acid for our recipe. So we're going to weigh this out. Oh, and we're also going to use cetyl alcohol. Let me grab that real quick. And cetyl alcohol is very good for treating dry, rough skin, and it's really good for, skin conditions. Of course, I can't mention that, but it's just really good for dry, rough skin. So, I pressed the wrong button. So with this, we're also going to use the same amount as we do with the emulsifying wax. And next, we're going to do our stearic acid. And we also use Phytomos. I'm sure I'm not saying this right, but we also use Phytomos chlorella. It's very high in vitamins and minerals, especially B12, which is really good for cell reproduction for the skin and also rough dry skin. So we're going to do, and this is as far as the waxes and the emulsifiers, this is the smallest amount that we'll be using. like the smallest. There we go. And next, okay, so next we're going to measure out our oils. So first we're going to use our what do I say, harder or thicker solid oil. I guess I can't think of the word, and it is really hard to get out of this container. This is our Bawasu. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right either. Get it out of the container. Give me 1 second. Okay, and as I've mentioned before, this is a great alternative for coconut oil, especially if you have allergies to coconut. It has a lot of the same properties, and it's just a lot easier to absorb into the skin. Next up is our avocado oil. Stuff is everywhere. Avocado. And next up is our sweet almond oil. We usually use sunflower, but I don't have any, so in place of sunflower we will be using almond oil, and this recipe is completely customizable to whatever you want to use. This is just what we use and how we do ours, but we always have one hard butter and one hard oil. I can't really think of the word for it. Or fatty oil, that's the word I'm trying to use. Fatty. One hard butter and one fatty oil. Okay, so this is our sweet almond oil that we're going to measure out. Okay, and next we're going to pop this in the microwave for 3 minutes until completely melted. Depending on your microwave, you may want to keep checking it, but we have a pretty high powered microwave, so it only takes 3 minutes for ours. Okay, and also you can use the double boiler method. This is just more convenient for us than to turn the stove on. Next we're going to measure out our water, and we do a smaller amount than we need, because as we emulsify the product, we can see if we would like to add more water. Sometimes we always have to add more water to get the texture that we desire, so we don't want to turn it into a lotion and it's too runny for our product. So measure out, and this is distilled water. And usually when you make like a lotion or such, it's usually the amount of water is usually the same as the amount of the oils and waxes that you use, times 2. So you double it, but like I said, this is our formula for also with the lotion you use a lot more emulsifying wax than we did. So this is our formula. And with this, you want to pop this in the microwave for 30-second intervals, just to get it to a lukewarm temperature, because if it's too cold, it will harden the oils and the butters as you pour them, and you don't want that because it'll leave chunks in your recipe. Okay, we have our melted waxes and oils. I'm gonna grab my spoon. Okay, so next we will add our shea butter. No, actually, we'll add our coconut butter first. And our water just got done in the microwave. And we don't like to microwave our butters. We like to let them melt with the heat of the oils and waxes on their own. Okay, and here's our shea butter. Ew. Ew. Ooh. It's a little over, but that's my fault. Can't break it up, it's so hard. Okay. And this melts fairly quickly, but also want to say that when you're taking this glass dish out of the microwave, you might want to have an oven mitt because it will be hot. So we'll let this melt. And after this melts, we're going to add our jojoba oil and our vitamin E oil. So let's move this aside while we work with our... Okay, here's our water. And it may seem like a little bit, but that's what I want for right now, because I can always add to it like I mentioned. So the water portion is where you want to add your colorants and any other liquid additives you have, because I don't like, for instance, I like to use coconut milk powder or coconut cream. I have a body cream that I made with coconut milk powder and coconut cream, and it's best to add it to the water because you don't want to cook the the raw ingredients like that. So the colors that I would like to use are gold and what's this? Pumpkin head from Mad Micas. And to achieve, we like to have a more pastel color. So to achieve that, we color it to where the water is colorful but still transparent. Like you can still see through it. Like we don't want to add too much where you can't see through the water at all, because then it'll be too dark for us. So, but like I said, that's our preference. This is completely your recipe. So we're using gold and orange because the scent that we're going to use is champagne apple and honey from Virginia Candle Supply. They have some good fragrances. This one smells so good, and it's a Bath and Body Works dupe. It smells amazing. I love it. And also with the fragrance oil, you don't want a lot. You don't need a lot. I'm not good with like measuring properly with the regular utensil for this one, so I usually measure it out with the cap. And it's about a little over a capful, or a little over half a capful is what I mean to say. This is also where you want, where we add our preservative. And whatever preservative you use, we like to use Optifin. And again, I'm like measuring that out with the utensils. Probably because I don't have any smaller, like teaspoon and tablespoon. I need to get some. I know I do. I used to have them, but when we moved, it's like they grew feet and walked away. So with this, we measure it out with the cap as well. And we use half a cap. And trust me, it may look like a lot, but again, we're going to add water to this recipe. We see our butters are starting to almost completely melted. So we just mix this. That's my handle the wrong way. There we go. Mixy, mixy, mix. Mixy, mixy, mix. Oh, it smells so good. And don't worry about the color, because the wax, butter, and oil portion is going to change the color. It's going to lighten it a lot, as you will see. Okay. Now we're going to add our oils and butters, but this is still hot. Oh wait, nope. I have to add the jojoba oil. Let me measure that out real quick. And the vitamin E oil. So up. So let's measure that. And the reason why I add it after everything's incorporated is because it's a more delicate oil and I don't want to burn off any or all of the properties for it. And where's my vitamin E oil? I just had it. Give me. Okay, I found it. So this vitamin E oil is MT50 full spectrum. And yes, she's a thickie. Oh, I'm adding it to the wrong thing. Look at me. Okay, now okay. Such a small amount, the weight didn't even pick it up. So now we stir this up. And also adding that little bit of oil will help it cool down a little bit. And let me measure the temperatures. So our oils, butters, and waxes are at 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And our water is at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Really? Oh, is that right? Let me see. Now let's try. Oh yeah, it is. It doesn't seem that hot, but it is. Okay, so before we pour, I want to get my immersion blender ready because I have to blend it up while I pour it. Awesome. Look. Sorry, I forgot to mention that I blend in intervals. So I let it thicken up a little bit, and now I'm going to blend it up again. And you see how it's thickening up? Yes, lovely. And I also forgot to mention that it's good for the temperatures to be a little high, because that's what gives it those nice fluffy bubbles and makes it nice and fluffy. I know this is noisy, but look at that texture, it's so lovely. As it sits, it is going to thicken up a little bit, so you have to let it sit for about 2 hours without a lid. Because if you cap it too soon, it will start to sweat. You don't want that. Oops, just hit the camera. And like I said, this is where you can see if you choose to add more water or not. You can also tell by testing it. If you rub it on your skin and it makes your skin feel a little warm and sweaty like, then you need to add more water. And add a little bit of water at a time. Don't just go, too crazy. I recommend adding about an ounce at a time, maybe. Because that's what I see. I'm going to have to add a little bit of water. This recipe will fill up 3 6-ounce jars. May have a little left over. I have to actually see, because last time I did this, I usually double my recipe because I make more product. But since I'm doing one fragrance right now, I just did a small amount. Look at that texture. Okay. Hold on, let me get something so I can test this out. Okay, I have my little popsicle stick here to test. I'm gonna break it. I did take one of my gloves off. I'm gonna dip it with this glove. It's too much. Just need a little bit. And switch hands. Let's test it out. It's still warm, but it is going to cool down. Oh, it feels so good on my skin. It feels so soft and hydrated already. Okay. Now I can't really test the scent out because I do have another scent on. I used some body oil after I showered. But Can't really test the true texture of it, but I've been making this for so long that I know if it's good to go or not. And it feels great to me. But let it sit on your skin for about 5 minutes, and you'll be able to really tell once your body settles down or whatnot. So let me come back and see how it is. Okay, it has been 5 minutes, and I tell you, this is fine. I don't have to do anything else to it. My skin feels really soft and hydrated, and I don't think you can really tell, but that shine, it's not oily at all or anything. And the texture is really nice. Look at that. It's really, you can't really see it like, I'd like you to, but it's really nice. It's dense but airy, and it smells great. And like I said, this is where you'd add your water, because a lot of people, might not like this texture, but this is good. It reminds me of a body butter, It's really nice. So I have my jars here. They are already labeled. And my hands are washed, but let me put more gloves on. I did wash my hands, of course. Okay. So, that's one glove. Okay, got both gloves on. Now, let us package. It reminds me of a creamy, really creamy body butter. A non-oily body butter. This will be great for those that like body butters but don't like being oily and it's too hot to be oily. This will be perfect. Lotions will be great too, because the amount of water in it will help hydrate your skin. Because I know a lot of people say lotions aren't necessary. I'm going to try to achieve my swirl here. Uh-oh. Okay. To achieve that swirl, you just have to be rough with it. Just carve at it. Really. I know a lot of people like pipe it in, but nah. It's a little too thick for that. Can't really tell how the swirl looks on camera, but it's getting there. Trust the process. Well, I'll do that later. Let's put the next one in. And I do have to grab another jar. Let me scrape this. It's getting there. It'll be there soon, I promise. Okay, I'll grab my other jar later. But thank you so much for watching. And like I said, if you're interested in the recipe, it will be in the description below. Well, the link to purchase will be in the description. This is like my first time trying to, I guess, sell a recipe, so I'm not really sure how it goes. I just have it typed up, and I was just going to email it. And I do recommend that when you make your recipe that you re-watch this video so that you can see the step-by-steps a little easier. What to add to what, how to do what, how long to heat things up or whatever. But that will be in the description. And also let me know if you'd like to see any other recipes. I make sugar scrubs. I make emulsified sugar scrubs. I make mine a little different. I don't make mine in the same batch, in one batch. As far as the ingredients go, I don't make them in the same batch. I make bath bombs. Of course, I make body butters, but I'm not going to be doing body butters because it's getting hotter outside and I don't really want to ship those, and they don't really sell as much as they do in the colder months. But my body creams are a really good seller. But just let me know, leave some positive comments in the description, not in the description, but below as well. And like I said, thank you. Also, these are available to purchase on my website, natrellessentials.com. That's my business name. It's actually my middle name. I thought it was pretty cool. But anyway, natrellessentials.com. That will be in the description as well. And okay, I am going to go for real.